Welcome to the Beer Hammer Podcast, Episode 8. As always, we are the Warhammer 40k podcast that centralizes all of our talk and discussion on a bunch of beer and pretzel style 40k playing, the casual gamer. No tournament stuff here. I'm just kidding. This whole entire episode is about a tournament.
Oh, man.
Oh, man. And we've added a new, several new co-hosts, actually. Both John and Nick were devoured by warp spawn and could not make it. I'm joined today by Cody Leva,
Chicken Knobs,
whose name I still can't pronounce.
You always pronounce it correct.
Shut up.
It's like you said words.
And that was Paul.
Who's Paul?
Who is Paul? Paul, who are you?
I'm one of the owners of Vendetta Games.
Yes, he is. Vendetta Games up here in Dahlonega, Georgia, right near where we record this fancy podcast.
Ooh, fancy.
Ooh. Also happens to be the FLGS that I spend most of my time at when I can.
And most of my time.
Yeah, well, you have to spend your time there.
Well, no, I mean you spend most of my time.
I don't know what that means.
Don't lie to me.
I'm not. I have no clue what that means.
Just let it happen.
I don't spend your time.
I thought this was a chaos segment.
I'm just kidding. I don't care. And last but not least, we are joined by Andrea.
Hello.
She does lots of fancy voiceover stuff, and she's going to be doing some cool little segments with us here for the tournament, I guess, blessing thing. You know, chaos.
Do we sacrifice anything?
We might.
It's chaos.
Just
If we
never know.
don't sacrifice anything, that is.
It's gonna be a
Well, it's
good
blasphemy.
episode then.
I mean, we could sacrifice all of it.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
Yep.
There
sounds
will
good.
be volcanoes involved.
I hope so. If there's not volcanoes, it's not worth it.
Can we get Sharknado in
Are
it?
you sure you have the bandwidth for that?
We'll make it happen.
All right. Yeah.
We
Because
got
it takes
connections.
extra sacrifices to get that kind of bandwidth from the internet gods, right?
No.
Oh, it doesn't. Fantastic. That must be what these little cheese things are for.
Wait, did anyone bring the virgins?
I'm about to say, you do know where we live, right?
They make those? Wait, what? So anyway, Cody still hasn't played crap for 40k.
I've played some, just not nearly as much as you.
Well, have you played a game since like the past 3 podcasts?
No.
Yeah.
Dun,
This is how casual we are.
Yeah, pretty casual.
We don't even care if we play.
As long as you get to touch your toys.
I had been
Yes.
focused on painting.
Have you painted anything?
I'm working on different things, yes.
You what?
I've been working on several different things lately, yes.
Have you completed anything?
No. At least not since last episode.
I finished a lot since last episode.
You don't sleep.
It's a true story. You don't sleep, from what I hear.
No, I don't.
I try to, so...
Based on the fact that we are doing this podcast at way past dark 30.
I mean, you guys agreed to it.
I mean, it sounded like fun.
They consented.
Yeah, it is fun.
It is.
Until you get to that, like, 1 a.m. tired
Well,
level.
there's waivers for that, right? It'll be
No.
fine.
No, you must still perform or the beatings will commence. But, yeah, and so, Paul, what have you been up to? Hobby and
Everything. Literally everything. But the key word right now has been the Game of Thrones miniature game. That thing came out like, what, a week, 2 weeks ago?
I know.
I've played it 20 billion, okay, just like 20 times since then. It's fantastic.
Did you hear what happened to my Kickstarter?
No, I did not.
So for some reason, the Kickstarter pledge manager was different than the Geek Finder, whatever pledge manager that Simon was using. And so not all of the stuff got filled out and the shipping didn't get paid. That's why everybody in the local area has theirs and I don't have mine yet. And so I filled everything out, paid the shipping, and sent them an email going, "Oh crap, guys! I didn't realize I was supposed to do this part too." And they said, "Don't worry, you'll still get your stuff. It'll just be like Christmas for you." I went, "Oh, great."
Well, I have several demo copies of the store of basically everything. So if you want to come and play, we can throw down.
Well, yeah,
It is, again, it's uber fantastic. So
cool. What about you, Andrea?
Oh, the only thing I can say is Dragon Con and all the crazy costumes that I had. So that's my thing. And, Derek told me a lot about the games here. And he comes up here on Sundays to hang out with you guys. Is that right?
Yes, on occasion when he can make it and time and schedules activate, and then he comes up for the Hobby League stuff.
Nice. Yeah, so maybe I'll be sticking around for some of those here and there. So cool.
You should. It'll be
I
fun.
will.
It's
Maybe,
fun.
maybe I'll bless them all.
You could. You could run around blessing people's dice.
That would be awesome.
Don't bless us how.
They'd just be like, "What? What are you doing?" Get away from the table, you weird woman!
Ooh, I'll put in my yellow contacts that I had for Mystique. That'll freak everybody out.
That'd be really awesome.
that would be a Tuesday at the store.
A Tuesday.
A normal day.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I've been to your store.
It's a little weird.
Weird is good.
It's the good, happy, friendly kind of weird.
Well,
that we like.
I'm generally happy, so,
Yeah, well, yeah, that was one of my comments. Was that's probably one of the friendliest stores I've ever been in my entire life.
So you didn't come in the morning, is what you're saying.
No,
You
I've
know,
been
before the coffee and the sacrifices.
I've been there when y'all opened.
That's.
He's
But on
seen too
Warhammer
much.
Day, so that's better.
Yeah, I mean, everybody was still very friendly.
Yeah,
They didn't talk quite as much, but they were still very friendly.
it's true.
So anyway, moving on to other things. New releases. Anybody kept up with GW's new releases?
Kill Team, Kill Team, Kill Team. Brought to you by more places where you kill things in Kill Team land.
Right.
Kill Team.
Yep. They are doing the new, there's 2 new kill teams coming out? And the kill team, what is it, the trench system thing, whatever they're calling
One
it.
of the new kill zones. I haven't
Yeah,
actually
kill
got to see that on the table or anything yet, but we did last
Yeah.
week get the new Rogue Trader kill team stuff, and that's pretty fancy.
Yeah, the Rogue Trader kill team stuff is cool. The they announced that they are going to be releasing. I'll have to look this fancy stuff up here real quick. It's basically a new kill zone that has a mat, and then it has the trench network looking stuff.
Cool.
It sounds a lot cooler than I think it really. I mean, I don't know. It's cool.
More
I like
importantly,
it.
there's a kill zone that includes a lot of the stuff from the Wall of Martyrs.
Right,
terrain
that's
set.
what I'm talking about.
And that's usually really hard to get a large selection of at any given time. And seeing that coming into Kill Team will be really fun.
Yeah, it's really, really neat. Let's see. Well, they don't have it up on their website yet, but it has been announced. Maybe on the Warhammer community site. But anyway, this is why we're supposed to prepare. Yeah, the Necrons, they're coming out with the Necron kill team, and what was the other kill team that they announced? Doodly doo.
The dude told me a bunch of them earlier today, but unfortunately that was before the coffee, like we talked about earlier, and I just, where he was like, kill team, and I said, cool, stuff will blow up, fantastic. And then he said the trenches and everything else went out the window. I was like, look at these cool little trenches with the little dudes on them, where people will blow up.
Yep, let's see. There's lots of stuff here. Let's see. I read the article about it, but I can't remember anything. Anyway, so yeah, new kill zone, 2 new kill teams, and then the other thing they've announced is what was the name of it? Raise the Dead.
That's always fun.
Yes, or Wake the Dead. Wake the Dead. That's the name of the box set. It's going to be a $150 box set. It has Eldar Guardians, a Spirit Seer, and Wraithguard, and a Wave Serpent in it, and then you get a bunch of Primaris Marines. Like the same style as Tooth and Claw and Forgebane. And it continues that narrative.
A value box.
Yeah, a big
old
fancy value box.
Yeah, fancy.
Like $400 worth of stuff for $150 US. USD. Anyway. Yep. So they've announced all that. Those are upcoming new releases. Any other new fancy stuff anybody's heard about?
Oh God. Which game?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, we talk about other games too, not just GW stuff.
Well, so the on the front for the Game of Thrones game, the Song of Fire and Ice game, or Ice and Fire, or whatever. There is the Night's Watch and the Free Folk are going to be the first two of the single faction starter boxes coming. So that'll be really cool and impressive because for one, you got the Night Watch, which is obviously those are the fancy boys. And then the Free Folk, I mean, they're coming with giants. And
Yeah.
There's a Spearwife box at some point in time and all kinds of cool
Spearwives.
stuff. At some point in time. So
I'm just saying, everybody needs a good spearwife.
it turns out,
Sometimes.
So I know that one has that coming. Unfortunately, I don't pay attention to the actual releases usually for Dust. I just buy it when it comes out.
Right. That's a big thing. Oh, Modifius finally released Fallout: Wasteland Warfare.
Oh yeah, it's on the way, coming right now.
Yep. Mine
we're
should
gonna
be
do
here Friday.
Yeah, we're very excited. We're gonna probably do a big old launch of that one and have some fun. So
Yep.
I can't wait to. In all honesty, I just want to put the little alien on the battlefield and blow people's stuff up with it. So
Right.
the little launch alien. So
Launch Alien. And then I know the Wrath and Glory RPG is coming up soon.
oh man,
Man.
oh man.
Yeah, I know. I found a PDF of said Wrath and Glory core rule book.
In exchange for a small portion of U.S. dollars.
Nope.
No.
No, it was absolutely free fine.
Oh, okay. Liberated from the dark internet.
Yes. Or just some weird Russian website. But it has let me start looking over the rule set, and it is really, really cool. Anybody who is familiar with Vampire the Masquerade or the White Wolf Studios tabletop RPGs will pretty much recognize the system immediately.
Yeah, and it's very action-packed. It's very
Yes.
scene-oriented. The hour deals that are going on are going to get really in-depth real fast instead of just typical point-by-point RPG
Right.
system. So
Have you have you read anything other than like the teaser they put out about the rules?
for the Wrath and Glory,
Yeah.
we got to pilfer through one of the small demo things of it and whatnot and look at that, but we didn't actually get to play it. But
Yeah.
I have seen some of their videos and stuff, and it looks really good.
Yeah.
It looks fun.
I love. Basically, it works if your character is doing a test of strength, like say, trying to push open a door. You use strength and maybe like an athletic skill or something, and that gives you so many ranks. However many ranks is however many d6 you roll. And if you're wearing like power armor, you might get a +1 dice or whatever, and roll an extra dice. When you roll those, anything that is a 4 or 5 is an icon, which is also a success. Anything that is a 6 is an exalted icon, which is 2 successes. And then, the GM sets the difficulty. So, if you roll a bunch of dice and they need 5 successes and you get 5 icons and then an exalted icon, then you actually have 2 extra successes. And what you can do at that point is you can do that for greater effect. If you're under pressure, you can cause the whatever it is you're doing to take less game time, or you can actually turn them into glory, which is a pool that the whole entire party can draw from to increase their chances of stuff later on down the road. So it really brings in the mechanics of it, bring in a team dynamic of let's all work together and not suck at this.
I really think the glory pool is one of the things that have attracted me the most to the game. I think that dynamic, if your players aren't quite literally just using that, and I would say abusing that, then they are doing it wrong for
Right.
sure.
Right, because how many times have you been playing D&D and they're like, I've got to roll this natural 20 to kill this thing, and the whole party, everything hinges on that one guy's die roll, and there's no modifications, there's no nothing, it's just hope for the best, and they fail They usually roll a 1 in those situations.
The dreaded natural 1. And then TPK. Let's move on.
Right.
Game 2.
Everyone's dead. Starting the campaign over. You see a bunch of dead adventurers in a crater.
Sweet, I will loot them.
I will take all their things, including the underwear.
You might need a flag later.
Yeah, you never know. It's good to have that. So, yeah.
Yeah.
What do you want, Cody?
Nothing.
What do you want for Christmas?
I don't do Christmas, so
What are you, some kind of heathen?
more or less.
Oh, goodness, here he goes. Oh, I like Thor garbage.
You do too.
I mean, yeah, Thor's cool.
Exactly.
I know him as Arjak Rockface.
You're not wrong. You are not wrong.
Yeah.
In the name of Involve Save.
Yes, right. So anyway, moving on, you guys have probably heard us talking about doing a hobby league. And this was something that I started, and Paul was gracious enough to host and to have and help me out with and everything. So we've been meeting up at Vendetta Games usually about once a month. And what I did is I had everybody pretty much get a start collecting box. They had about 2 months initially to put everything together and paint it. We met up and we did power level. We played 25 power level game, and then we increased every month. We went up 15 power level until now, coming up this Sunday, just a mere few days away.
Sunday.
See God, eat Satan. That's not what's going to happen. Unless we roll a lot of 6s. But anyway, we're doing the 100 power level final showdown tournament at Vendetta Games. And we've actually got it on the Best Coast Pairings app. And have everything set up so that it's going to be a full or casual ITC tournament. I don't think it rates as like I don't know how they rank their stuff or do their stuff.
Depends on the number of players that actually generally show up
Right,
for the event. But yeah.
I don't think we're going to make grand tournament.
Hopefully not. I didn't set that many tables out for it, so you know.
That would be very stuffy.
Well, the quarters will just get really small really quick. 4 players on one 6x4. Team battles. Yay!
Yay! It'll suddenly change format. But yeah, we're planning on doing that this Sunday. Everybody has their list. Everything has to be painted, 3-color minimum.
Generally based, preferably, right?
Yes, preferably based. I don't know what or if we're really knocking much off for not based, other than giving them the shaky finger.
I know definitely that Chris is planning on using the painting rubric.
Yes.
Everything has to be complete. Everything has to look pretty, and everything has to murdercate the snart out of each other on a regular D6 basis.
Yep.
It's what, 3 rounds, 100 points?
Yes, 3 rounds, 100 power level.
So for your hobby guys, for the most part, a lot of these guys, this will be your first like full tournament day.
Right.
Sit down and murder. And we had a group call there are some people coming from all over for the event. There was a group call from Augusta just yesterday to reserve some spots.
Wow.
I have no idea. They just said, hey, me want come play Hammer? And we're like, I like dice. That is exactly what occurred.
This is going to be great.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I'm actually going to be playing, because I told Chris that if he needs the TO assistance, that is my primary function as the organizer, since I can't really if by some chance I won the tournament, I'd have to go, cool, well, second place actually wins first place, because it's not fair for me to win my own event. I think
It's fairly standard, passing it down. I mean,
Right.
competing and stuff for the fun, because it's, again,
Right.
Hobby League, it's all about fun. It's having a good time. Everybody would prefer more players. They usually don't, we need someone to tell us how our rules work. No, we need someone else to blow crap up with. That's usually what they're looking for. Plus, I'll probably be there. I know it's happening in the dark times. 8 in the morning or something?
I'm meeting Chris there at 8 in the morning, and
Oh, gosh.
we are setting everything up, and then we are starting at, I believe, 9 a.m.
Oh, that's not
is,
so bad.
is
No.
the start time. But he kind of figured we probably wouldn't actually get started till like 9:30.
So, cool note. We actually got a shipment in today. We got a bunch more frontline gaming battle mats specifically for
Cool.
the tournament. So we can get even more fancy, kill things on
Now-
Hoth type places and Tatooine and stuff.
Did y'all get them for y'all's tables or to sell as well?
Both.
Oh,
Both,
cool.
Yeah, a full.
Cool, because I
full
may
spread.
actually pick that up.
Tasty.
I want another one.
That's the whole point of them.
Yep. Yeah, so we're going to be doing that. I actually just finished last night. I finished my AdMech army. It is 99 power level. It's only 1,865 points, but it has a lot of infantry and a Knight Castellan and 2 Helverins.
And this is the Fallout themed one.
Yes, yeah.
It's gorgeous. It's fantastic.
This is the Vault Boy Call, who is now joined by Vault Boy Tech Priest Dominus. And then I've got 30 Skitarii with the galvanic rifles. One of the dudes has a plasma caliber, which actually has been really useful. Gives them a little punch. Even if some anti-vehicle stuff goes down, I can still hold a candle. They've got the Omnispec, so nobody gets cover save on them.
Neener.
Fun.
Yep. And then I have the 10 Corpuscari Electro Priests, the shooty kind.
Oh God, staff boys. They're so good.
I don't
They're
do
great.
the staff boys.
I guess those aren't the staff boys.
Right,
Those are the other
right.
ones from the same box.
Yeah, these are the jazz hands.
Yeah.
Jazz hands.
Magic fingers.
Vigorous jazz.
Yeah, they have the jazz hands. They do the shooty shoots. The
Pew,
staff
pew.
boys are really good, but I wanted to, since everybody kind of passes these guys over, I looked at their stats and said, okay, I'm hitting with a little more AP, and I get the 3 hits on 6s.
Yeah.
So I wanted to throw them in there, literally just to give it some oomph and extra shooty.
Oh, they're all super solid. It's just
Yeah.
the staff boys are all part of a combo, basically.
Right. They they have the invuln save like the other guys, like all the Electro Priests, and the staff boys do the mortal wounds.
Mortal wounds.
Which I have that generator in the form of the Secretary Hoplites from Forge World.
They're gorgeous models.
Yes, they are. I got 10 of those guys, a unit of 10, and I can tell you that I played a couple test games with them against a buddy of mine, and they literally ran through ruins and then right through his Astra Militarum. Like, it was absurd how much crap I killed in one assault phase. And then when he hit me back, I was like, neater, you die too. Because their special rules, they have the shields that have like the repulsor field or something on them. So when you roll a 6 to save, you deal a mortal wound to the unit attacking you.
I have not actually seen that, but that looks.
It's fun.
Yeah. Like you said, neener.
Yeah.
I hit you for 1 billion attacks, and these are my saving throws. Yes.
And with your authority attacks.
And it's a mortal wound that they return?
Mortal wound.
Man.
Yep.
I
So-
could just imagine the anger face when something like, this is Mr. Robbie G, and he's coming in for the death blow. Oh, look at that. He killed himself on my own shields.
Or, hey, he might have wiped out my unit, but he still took 6 mortal wounds.
He died wiping them.
Enjoy.
You're doing really great with that 350 plus point model.
Of course, the thing that sucks is it's anything with a random mechanic like that in the game. If you roll crappy, it don't do so good.
Nothing happens.
Nothing happens. But it's worth it to have it in there as a haha. But they also have they have good shooting attack, and they are a strong melee unit for that army. So that's why they got included. And of course, I have the Helverins and the Castellan. Because Knight Castellan, he's my friend.
He's so.
I need to get a
And
knight.
some plasma for you, and some plasma for you. And just in case that's not enough, here are melta-guns for everybody.
Right.
The Knight Castellan. It's so much firepower. It's like the workhorse of knights.
And the thing that is toning the list down from a competitive tournament list is the fact I do not have a CP battery.
Well, there's a lot of rumors that the CP batteries will be
Which
kind of cooled down a little bit, so we'll have to see what happens with that one.
yeah, which is fine by me because I generally build my list that to not rely on stratagems. I try to rely on the unit strengths and what's going on the battlefield, what I can do with each individual unit and the synergies of the units, instead of just literally playing to the combos with the stratagems. Now, they end up in there because that stuff's good, and those units that are generally good are generally the ones that have the good combos, and it works. But I don't have to use them, and I don't have to use them to win games.
That's true. You just take a Knight Valiant and use a giant flamethrower.
Yeah, you could.
Or a harpoon gun. Problem solved.
Right. But the Castellan is in there, and of course he is the warlord, so he's got the Ion Bulwark and the armor of the Sainted Ion, Iron Ion, whatever.
And that's where we come back to that neener statement that you said earlier.
Yes. Enjoy. And, I do believe the army turns out like 9 CP, so that means I've got at least 3 turns of rotating Ion shields and various other little gimmicks and tricks here and there. So if I do end up playing, I think it'll do pretty good.
And it's a Mechanicum Knight, right? So
Yes,
can the Dominus class, can the bigger Mechanicum Knights, I'm not actually 100% sure, can they use that thing where the knight comes back if you murdercate it?
I don't know because that's a stratagem, and I don't know the wording of it to tell you for sure.
Okay. I played a game just the other day, and literally I had to kill the same knight like 3 times. They just use the stratagem, and they're like, surprise, I'm back. Now they only have like 1 wound, but then they pop another stratagem and it acts at full wounds for the round, so it's like, and rocket punch. All of your stuff falls over. You're like, yes,
Yeah.
I finally killed it. Oh wait, it's not dead.
And if it does work for Questor Mechanicus, when he pops back up and he does his murder punch, you have the Tech Priest Dominus or Call hanging around to pop him back up to 3 or 4 wounds.
Mm-hmm. Just enough to put him back into a higher profile sometimes.
Yep. So, Cody,
Yes.
since we're talking army list and what
Army
we're bringing to
list.
the tournament, what you got?
Oh, well, one thing I'm excited to play with will be my Logan Grimnar Storm Rider. I finally get to try him out and see how he does on the table.
You mean your
You
teacup?
be quiet.
Your teacup?
Silence!
Your teacup pulled by wolves
Ah! First,
with a harness that won't ever work? The physics just don't work.
I'm pretty sure there are many things in Warhammer that the physics don't work.
Shut up, bolters are real.
I mean, I did send you that picture of that chainsword I found at Spirit Halloween, so
Yeah.
I was like, well, look at this.
You know that's not real. That's plastic.
You can't prove that.
No, I can't. I'll go to Spirit Halloween and buy one for $5.99.
All right, next episode, Eric proves me wrong. We'll see.
I prove you wrong all the time.
We don't talk about that out loud. Well, yeah, that.
Maybe we'll name this episode that.
So you're bringing Santa Claus to the tournament.
Yes, I'm bringing Logan Storm Rider.
Oh god.
In a teacup.
Does he have a little Santa Claus hat?
No,
Oh, he should.
No.
He definitely
he just has a really, really big axe. Hopefully to kill a lot of Tau. Or anyone in the way. I don't care.
I find it funny that you've been destroyed by so many other lists than Tau, but Tau is the only one you have a grudge against.
This is true. This is very true.
Because for some reason, everybody hates the communist fish people.
I mean, just think about that single statement. And I have every reason I need to hate them. Mainly the fish part.
I like them. I like Tau. I will always like Tau. Paul likes Tau.
Good for him.
To be fair, I like pretty much every army though. So
But yeah, so gonna bring him. I'm still kind of picking and choosing between which models I do want to bring. Like, I'm pretty sure I want to bring my Hellblasters, but at the same time, like, do I want to bring Intercessors or not? But I probably won't. So I'm still figuring, picking, choosing. So I'm still working that part out, not exactly how I want to do everything.
I think Andrea likes the wolves.
She should like the wolves, because the wolves are good.
They remind me of my wolf at home.
I'm very jealous that you have a wolf.
You should be. You should.
He's a pretty pup. He's a pretty pup.
He's beautiful.
He's no gaming pig, but he's a pretty pup.
I need to see this pup.
Bright blue eyes.
Wolves are
He'll
glorious.
put a spell on you too.
Oh, wolves always do.
Yeah.
Look at Red Riding Hood. And most of her family.
Yeah.
That's going into areas we don't talk about on this podcast.
Murder.
We keep it family oriented, sir.
well, for the Space Wolves, that is the family.
Exactly. That's just dinner talk. It's fine.
This is my wolf. These are my pups. Why do they look like wolves with human heads?
What do you see there?
WTF.
But anyway,
I mean, you gotta have hobbies.
yeah.
What do you think those guys do when they've drank too much mead and there's only a bunch of wolfen hanging around?
Oh gods, there are no wolves
She
on
had
Fenris.
16 slide.
Oh Christ. Moving on.
So Hellblasters, yeah, you should bring those. They have the pew.
I do agree. They do have quite a good bit of pew. I liked them the last time I played them. They did pretty well, so I'll probably definitely bring those. Still debating on intercessors, but I'm trying to not bring too many primaires so I can bring more like Grey Hunters and Blood Claws. Trying to bring a lot of infantry.
Blood claws are the truth.
Yes.
Blood claws with chainswords.
And their chainswords are real.
And I
Turns
have
out
a
they did
lot of
not buy
chainswords.
them at a Halloween store.
They did
No.
not.
Nope.
They did not.
I
They bought them at Party City.
This chainsword brought to you by some tool store nearby.
Harbor Freight sells chainswords. but they're the plug-in kind. They're made in Szechuan, China.
Oh God.
Approved for killing your enemies within 25 feet of any electrical outlet. Or, in the case of the handy-dandy ever mobile charger, plug straight into your Lehman Russell or Land Raider Crusader.
Or Warlord Titan.
Ooh, Warlord Titan. Now that's a lot of chainswords that you can plug in. You could probably use extension cables with those guys.
You just glue them all to the carapace. Just
Right.
chainswords.
Just like a billion little space
You'd have
wolves
to plug
hanging
it into
off
like
of
the
it.
foot to be able to use it on the ground.
Dun, dun, dun. Oh, he doesn't have a chainsword, but he's got a big ass fist of wind.
Yes, with the he's got the Vulcan Megabolter on that fist.
Tasty. So you haven't put him on the table yet as a game?
He's on a table right now, Paul.
All right. No, that's a different kind of table. That's not the one that blows up.
It can.
So probably a week or two after the tournament, we should have an APOC game.
We'd have to plan more about 3 or 4.
3 or 4? That's it. That's official.
'Cause
Challenge out.
One of the things that I am trying to scrounge funding and whatnot for is my own gamer's den in the basement.
Ooh,
Finishing
fancy.
that out, drywalling it, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I did hang a Bluetooth light.
Ooh.
A Bluetooth light.
It is a shop light that Bluetooths to your phone, and you can play music through it.
You can play music through a light.
It's awesome.
It's not stupid. It's advanced.
Because when we're playing, I can just be like, cool, playlist, boom. There you go. Don't have to worry
Oh
about
God, that
speakers.
would have been perfect for the other day at the shop. Blinded by light. It was great.
I feel like there's context for that joke the
I'm
rest of us are
going to
missing.
shoot.
We had the doorway light go out the other week at the shop, and so Eric's like, "Hey, go change it." So we had the really, really tall piercer who's afraid of heights on the ladder trying to change it, and then Eric eventually had to be like, "Move out of the way, I'm going to do it." So he's up there messing around with it, and he's having trouble with it. And just before it comes on, our coworker Caleb displays "Blinded by the Light" on his phone. So when he said that, all I could think of was he's turning on the light, and that song comes on every damn time, and that'd be amazing. That's a nice gun you got, Eric.
It's going to shoot you.
Oh, it's about time. You keep threatening and you don't deliver. Starting to think you don't love me anymore.
It's all that foreplay, baby.
Ah.
I do threaten to kill Cody probably at least twice, 2, 3, 4, 5 times a week.
It's almost every single day. Almost.
Yeah. He keeps telling horrible puns.
And he keeps expecting me not to.
That's fair. That's fair.
When I shoot out his kneecap, it will stop.
That's fair.
No,
That's
it
also
won't.
fair.
It really won't.
Look, then you could be a city
Holding
guard.
your bloody stump of a leg, being like, "Ha ha! I guess they'll be calling me Eileen."
It's only a flesh wound.
Right. See, that would be funny. That would actually that'd be a Monty Python reference. I love references. I don't do puns.
I could see that on the. And then a mass murdering. Literally, you shoot him in the leg and he lays there on the ground and says, "'Tis but a flesh wound, sir." No, somehow I don't think that's what's going to happen, but I want it to happen now.
I mean, me too. I think he'll really probably just scream or pass out.
Yes, but if he manages to say the reference first, kudos for life.
Right.
I mean, done.
Right.
You can't even shoot him more after that because you have to respect that it happened.
We would definitely create a Mozart-style bust for him to put in the halls of the hardcore.
And maybe even like call an ambulance for him or something. Maybe.
No.
No,
Duct tape that shit.
No, okay, well, I mean,
save his
Could I,
blood for
like-
the sacrifices later.
blood for the
For
blood
the
god.
altar.
Don't
For the
don't
altar.
use my blood. That bad things will come of that. Everyone else will cry.
That's what we. No.
Bad by whose definition?
Everyone's.
Not mine.
Eric, if you drink my blood, you're gonna start saying
Ooh,
puns,
it's for the blood god.
No.
and you won't be able to stop.
No, I won't drink your blood. I would use your blood in like a sacrifice or ritual.
Okay, that'll be fine.
Which
I would
will
just rip
summon
your
a
still beating
pun.
heart out of your rib cage and eat it.
Can you at least like put some pepper on it or something?
No, I've seen what you eat. That shit's gonna be spicy.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
This
pre-spiced.
This man orders wings, and literally he opens it up, and your eyes water if you're sitting next to him. That's how spicy they are.
They're delicious.
Which I like spicy food, other than the whole Ring of Fire afterward. That's the only reason I don't eat spicy food all the time.
Nope,
If
I'm
you-
a pansy.
If
Bring
you
the
tried the
ketchup.
butter chicken I get from the Indian place, so delicious, but it would kill you.
Probably. Anyway, so yeah, that was your list turned into a description about fiery buttholes.
Yeah, pretty much.
What we learned is that he's hungry.
Yeah,
I'm always hungry.
he's always hungry.
I really am. Moving on.
Moving on. Paul, you don't even have a list. You
Oh,
just,
no.
you just own the place.
No, usually I just go to the case and say, you know what looks nice today? These models. I am actually probably bringing the Night Household that I took to the ATC tournament this year.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Oh yeah, they're pretty fancy. Nate painted them real nice. They're essentially a ghost or a Legion of the Damned themed Night Household. So green, yellow, murdercation, flamethrowers, giant harpoon guns, pretty much everything you need in life.
I think that's one of the worst things I could think of involving a ghost. What's worse than a ghost? A ghost with a flamethrower.
Ooh, yeah,
All right then.
a giant flamethrower.
And a harpoon.
And
And the harpoon.
of all the weapons, a harpoon.
The harpoon, it is amazing. I have harpooned planes out of the sky. I have literally harpooned Robbie G in the face, and there was no face. I've harpooned a lone Imperial Guardsman. We harpooned a grot the other day. I don't think there was anything left, but it's what happened. It's probably one of those funnest weapons because literally it does so much massive damage and it's such just like an obliterating weapon, but it all relies on a single roll to hit. And when you're just like, oh look, a natural one, it's soul crushing. But when you get that 6, you're like, yeah, now it's all dead.
I still have the idea of this gigantic, like, battleship-sized harpoon landing on this little, like, 3.5-foot grot.
You're being generous.
He's a tall grot.
He's
the
a big
biggest-
one.
He's
He
the
was
biggest
the
grot.
boss. I mean, he stood out in the crowd.
Yeah, he's the grot boss.
Yeah.
That sounds like an as seen on TV thing.
Oh,
Purchase the grot boss today.
But wait, for 1999.
It slices, it dices,
it gets
wait,
shot by
there's
harpoon guns.
and it doesn't just die. It splashes.
Yeah, that's definitely what occurred. So,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
a
that would be
fun weapon. It really brings the moment. It's like when you see the custode players and so much uber dynamic stuff is happening because every little custode on the battlefield is either something you hate, or love with their 800 million invuln saves and all that good jazz. So,
Golden Boys.
Golden Boys.
It was interesting because I was actually going to do custodes for the Hobby League. When I started it, I actually, because, and this was a little thing, I literally sat down because a whole lot of people complained about having 2 months to put together and paint 25 power level worth of stuff. And I literally said, okay, everybody I know who's in this works less hours than I do. Most of them have less family than I do. So I am going to not take away from work. I'm going to not take away from family. I'm going to paint as many 25 power level lists as I can in 2 months. I did 4. I did 4 power level, 25 power level lists. Custodes, Corn Demons, Tau, and Admech.
Eric, it's just because you're better than everyone else.
It's not because I'm better than everyone else. It's because I don't make BS excuses. And I go, I'm going to set aside this part of my time and allocate it as time management to do my hobby and to do my thing. And then I do it every single night.
That takes too much time.
It does, doesn't it? So, the thing is, like, and it's kind of funny because as casual as I am, I'm very serious about the hobby and the game. And I dedicate a lot of my passion towards it because it is something that I'm passionate about. I've been playing this game since I was 8 years old. It's what I care about.
I can testify this man is in no way joking because I'll be sitting at work. He'll be like, hey, Cody, come look at this. And I'll look at it. And I'm like, oh, my God, that's so nice and pretty the way you painted that. He'll be like, yeah. I'm like, cool. A couple days go by. Cody, look what I got. And he's got like an entire box full of new stuff. It's already built and primed. And I'm just like, when the hell did you do this? And it keeps coming. It just keeps on
Most of the
coming.
time, it's the hours between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m.
But yeah.
That's when I have my hobby time. But yeah, and so I said, cool, I'm going to do this so that everybody who complained will have to shut their mouths. Because this is what you can do. And if I can do 4 25 power level lists in 2 months under my time constraints and schedule, not taking away from anything else, then anyone else in the world should be able to do 1 25 power level list. And if they can't, then
They need to play Necrons.
Cry Me a River. Yeah,
If
play
they can't, they
Necrons.
need to play Necrons. I mean, what's that? A can of chrome spray and some army painter dip. I mean, whoop, whoop. Look, Necron's done.
Right. And I mean, everybody does different levels and different things, but it's like if you're going to sign up for this event and participate in an event like this, then you have to do it. If you're not, if you go, wow, okay, my life and time constraints and how much sleep I need and my thing, then whatever stuff I do and how long it takes me to tie my shoes won't let me get this done, then there are other events and things for you.
Yes.
I think so.
I agree.
Yes.
Yes.
Because that's one of the coolest things about the hobby and the game and the events and stuff like that. There is something for everyone. No matter what's going on, miniature wargaming, you can get into playing the game, you can get into list building, you can get into painting, whatever your main thing is. I mean, there's people that pay to have other people paint their stuff.
Hell, you can buy the models just to have them, paint them, and stare at them, look pretty, and not play a game in your life.
Dude, there are people on some of the podcast communities I'm on Facebook and stuff. There are people on there that are like, hey, I don't even play. I just like building and painting the models.
Cool.
I would say that in my experience, at least a third of all of the, not just Warhammer players, but miniature wargamers that we have or that come around or whatever, they just paint and build. They just enjoy the hobby aspect.
Right.
And they like to talk about it. They like to hang out and stuff. And they might play a game every now and again, but the majority of that group usually just very much. And then, from there it breaks down into different smaller groups. So, but there's at least a third of the people that are at least in our community in this region, who just have a great time hanging out, building, painting, being involved in the entire hobby and the entire community. Doesn't even have to be murdercating or rolling dice or any of that good noise. So,
and that was one of the things that I really enjoyed. Back in the day was I would enjoy just hobbying, just getting together, friends. We'd all be putting models together, painting them, talking trash across the table.
Good times.
Right, good times. Seriously, I think I played more games of 8th than I played of Rogue Trader, second edition. I don't think I ever played third, fourth, and fifth. I never really played 6 or 7. But all those editions, I've played more games of 8th edition now than I have probably all of those combined. Because I was more a hobbyist than I was an actual gamer, like an actual game player, I guess. And I never went to big tournaments. I never did anything. I played friends. I mean, I started playing Rogue Trader with Lego Men. Just me and my brother. I was 8 years old. We couldn't afford the models, and so we'd buy we'd have our Lego Men from our Lego sets, and we'd put them together. And you know the big crazy thing, that'd be a bolter. You know, that's our bolter rifle. And we'd sit there and run around with them and just use the 40K Rogue Trader rules and put together a list of, you know, several Space Marines and a couple other whatevers and just roll dice and shoot each other and stuff. And that's what got me into it. And then, of course, as I started, you know, doing chores and, you know, saving my money and things like that, I started buying models. And it was interesting. I was talking to a buddy of mine on Sunday, actually, about the one time I could not save a model was I'd loaned some of the old, and I mean old, we're talking second edition old, pewter, well actually these were lead. They were lead. That's how old these were. The Terminators, the old lead Terminators.
Original Terminators.
Yeah, the original Terminators.
That's in the way back when.
Yep,
That's
yep.
before the majority of our current players were born.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
I mean, this is 8 years old. This is mid-'80s. This is like Rogue Trader was still really new.
It's the dark times.
Yeah, dark times. And I
Before
had
the
these
Empire.
models, and a buddy of mine wanted to paint them, and I let him. I said, "Cool, you can have this model, a couple models to paint." This is my Terminators that I, you know, saved up my allowance and bought, and he painted them with enamel,
Oh my god.
unthinned enamel,
Oh.
Tester's enamel paint.
Yep. Tester's paint. That's it.
Yep. And I literally soaked these things. I think I soaked these things in brake cleaner
Oh my god.
for literally like a week.
That's a
And
strong
then I
sip.
could not scrub all the little paint bits out of the details to actually get stuff done.
I think the only time I've ever painted a Warhammer model with enamel, well, Tester's enamel paint, is Tester's had a cherry candy apple red, and orcs go faster if they're red. And
Yeah, oh man, I love that.
I
hope they
was-
bring it back.
it did Armageddon, you know,
was great.
way back in the way back
Yeah.
when, with Armageddon Third War happened and Speed Freak Cult came out, and it was like, oh yeah, everybody's faster when they're red. All them orc trucks I had, they got big old red stripes on them.
Oh, dude, yeah, it was great. What was it, like an extra 3 inches of movement if you were painted red?
And I don't remember.
It was like 2 or 3 inches, or like an extra dice on the advance or
Yeah.
something. I can't remember what it was, but yeah, it was the rule was literally it goes faster if it's red.
It literally does. Red makes it go faster.
Yeah.
And I can't even remember if you had to pay points for it. I don't even remember.
No, you didn't. You just
I think
had to
you
paint it red.
literally just had to paint it red, and the whole army required you to have like red vehicles or whatever, and you went a little faster. I don't remember.
So was there-
I was much younger in the way back when, and orcs zipped around, and we screamed, and things got shotted, and it was all good times.
I like the old orc truck rules where you just piled your models into the back of it.
As
and
many boys as could fit in it is how many could fit in it. So there were like piles of boys just on the back. And the old modeling rules, people would literally like put like little rails on their trucks and stuff to fit more dudes in them.
Yep.
And then-
But wasn't it if they fell out while you were moving it, they died?
That was a thing in the long ago.
That's fair.
Or if it wasn't officially in the rule, that was in everyone's home rules that at least
Yeah.
we played with, especially the battle wagon Tonka trucks. If you couldn't keep your dudes in there, they didn't deserve to be in it. So
Yep. Good times.
So at that point, where it's just everyone's orcs red.
aren't orcs always red?
No.
Why would you have a non-red orc vehicle?
Well, that's why I was asking.
I guess sometimes they're yellow or checkered.
The Bad Moon.
Yeah.
The one
But they
Caleb-
should be red because it'll
Caleb
go
hasn't
faster.
painted anything.
No, but like even on the box how it's guided or whatever, it's not red, was it?
Oh, the Speed Freaks box cover art?
Yeah, I don't remember it being red.
Generally, if they're speed freaks, they're going to be red. I mean, but I
Or
mean,
it's a Cult of Speed, yeah. It
there's
was
a
Cult of
lot
Speed
of
box.
really good-looking other orc schemes, though. I love like the goth scheme. That's our
You know-
goths. Everybody loves those.
Derek actually has one of the most beautifully painted orc armies I've ever seen.
Because
And-
it's painted.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, it's an orc army. If it's painted, kudos, right? Like
no,
he
but
wins.
I mean,
you win the
it's
competition.
it's super well painted, and anytime I'm playing him at any store, if he brings the orcs, we literally have to stop the game about 6 times for people to come by and,
Pictures.
oh man, let me take a look at those. Yeah. I mean, it's awesome. It's great. I'm just like,
Well, hopefully they'll come throw down for the power level.
I don't know if he's still doing Gene Stealer cults or not. But do you
Those
know?
those are also really cool.
I don't know. Actually,
Oh.
I don't know. He talks about it, but I haven't. Most of the time I just watch him paint. You know, he sits there and he's just doing his thing, then I go do my own thing too. So
Right.
he'll tell me about it soon.
With his
So-
8 magnifying lenses.
Yeah, it's like looks a lot like steampunk going on in there with the.
Oh, God.
That's because he's so old. I hope he listens to this. But yeah, so anyway, I think we're going to take a quick little break. And then when we come back, we might have a special guest, Priestess of Chaos, to bless the tournament.
Wait, we haven't done the sacrifice to summon her yet, though.
Well,
Oh,
that's
wait.
what we're doing while we're taking the break.
Oh, to the warp!
Yeah. Do that again.
To the warp!
Good. Welcome back, kids. We are back from our break that literally took you no time at all. It took us a few minutes.
It took
Plus,
us a good while.
We went over the stats of the Warlord Titan that we talked about that I won. And Paul now wants one.
Challenge mode accepted. Once one. I want to blow that one up.
We're going to do it.
20k apocalypse, 10k per side.
Yep. Sounds like a plan.
Tasty.
Yup. Who's going to kill my Titan first?
Rick James.
The actual
Ray James.
the Nova Charity Foundation, they actually want me to send them pictures when he walks of the game. So yeah.
I was actually thinking if you would like, we could do an event and see about getting the film guys, the film students, to come up and actually broadcast or do a YouTube cast, do a battle report, full battle report.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
That's what we should do.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep,
battle
I
report
agree.
apocalypse. You know, whoever has 16 hours to watch us play Warhammer sounds good. Right?
Yeah, I mean, why not?
Maybe there should be some editing. Maybe
There might have to be.
a little bit.
Yeah.
Just a wee bit.
Just the tip.
Just the tip.
Just the tip.
So to finish out our segment, since we were talking about the tournament that we're doing this Sunday at your fancy store,
Tournament.
I believe the Priestess of Chaos was going to be joining us to do some crazy
you clean up-
chaotic type stuff.
Did you clean up the leftover parts from the sacrifice?
No, you don't. You don't do that. She eats them afterward.
Oh.
Yes, I am here to bless you all. Well, maybe a blessing of some sort. I will tell you something. You listen carefully now, you hear? To the spirit, to the earth, the air, the water, and the fire. Let the chaos will come to you and give to you what you want. To the chaos and to the ways of luck, may they fall upon you and your desires and that Titan guy. And I make my wishes, your wishes without the effort. As what I want, as what you want. To win. Do you see the power of me voodoo? Oh, you should. Do it. Blessing now. Chicken feet, chicken feet, chicken feet.
Done.
That was amazing. That was awesome.
Oh my god.
All I can think about, chicken arise. Arise, chicken. Chicken arise. Oh, that was beautiful.
That is exactly why Chaos is better than the Imperium.
I mean, I'm not gonna. I don't pick sides.
No. That's the side.
They're really good at getting chopped up
Yeah.
by chainswords.
I mean, blood for the blood god. It
Yes.
doesn't. We're not picky, right?
That's true. Got a point.
I just realized I'm gonna have to play on the Imperium side because that Titan is a Chaos side. It's terrible.
Well, I mean, the thing is, the
See,
cool
now
thing,
your side's gonna get free rerolls and shit.
the thing is, the cool thing about the way that he painted it, and this is what I love, is that because it is kind of ambiguously chaos. I could technically be like, no, he's an Imperium loyal Titan. You can just get over it.
Because he's ambiguously chaos. Today maybe I'm going to be chaos, but I mean, that's the nature of chaos. Tomorrow Imperium, today chaos.
I mean, who said the God Emperor is not a chaos god in and of himself?
You got a point.
I'm pretty sure he's a god.
Especially if they ever had to
checked.
talk to text-to-speech device.
Yeah. By the way, anybody who is a newbie to the 40K world, while you should not accept anything that goes on in that YouTube channel as canon, some of it is, and plenty of it is. However, take it all with a grain of salt. But the Emperor had a text-to-speech device is probably one of the most hilarious 40K humor things I have ever seen. Digger knobs. That was actually when I texted Derek and said, "Oh yeah, cool. I was talking to Andrea. She's gonna come do some stuff for the podcast and everything. It's gonna be great." His response was "Digger knobs." It has literally become like an affirmative, like a 10-4. We just Digger knobs.
This makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes exact sense.
Yeah,
Perfect
it
sense.
does.
Oh, have you seen they did an article, Games Workshop has gotten the guy who did Turning Signals on a Land Raider Crusader.
Yes,
and I have
yes.
read that. I followed that webcomic the whole time. It's hilarious.
Yes,
and
it
it's
is.
good fun. And the fact that they've picked it back up, and I love that first little episode where they're just like they're in their normal life, and they're like, "You remember that time when we used to play all that Warhammer?" Good times. You should check it out. Turning Signals on a Land Raider Crusader, right?
Yeah, turn signals on a Land Raider.
Yeah.
I have seen the new strips they've been releasing, and I've read quite a few of them, and it is rather funny.
Yeah, I guess I always say on a Land Raider Crusader. It's actually just Land Raider. Yeah,
Yep.
My bad.
Yep, it is TSOLR.
It's important to know which way you're turning. Everybody needs to know, including the enemy artillery spotters.
Yes, yeah, they do need to know.
Yeah.
It's good they don't live here because they'd never use them.
Now, if they're Astra Militarum Imperial spotters, they have to do this, the left and right thing, to figure out which way you're turning.
Well, no, I mean, Astra Militarum, right? They just shoot the whole area.
They're not actually educated.
Yeah,
I mean, right?
Aiming is for people that don't have enough bullets.
Kill it with fire.
I actually used to play a sci-fi space combat game, and I was actually really good at it, and it actually had a void-oriented spaceflight model. As in, like, if you cut engines, you kept going. And so one of the ways that you would dogfight is you would literally just fly at the other guy, and then you'd cut engines and spin your ship to the side and keep each other centered on the target reticle and just blast away. And I was talking in like one of the guild chat things at some point and going on about, I use these kind of weapons. And the guys were like, well, those things fire a lot of shots, but they're not very strong. And I said, I believe in the PPM philosophy of combat. And they said, what is that? And I said, the pew pew per millions. Because I literally want to put as much fire out into a cloud around that guy's ship that he's going to hit my bullets.
Can't dodge.
I'm not trying to hit him. I want him to hit my bullets.
You're going to run into my bullets. It's all part of my plan.
and that was literally, and it was very effective in that game. And because they were like, how do you do what you do? Because they were asking me, like, they're like, man, because I actually was starting to get ranked up and like get up, in the higher rankings in the game and everything. Because I actually had like dogfight and PvP stuff, and it was one of the few games where I did PvP regularly, and I'm just not a very competitive person. In case you couldn't tell by the whole non-competitive podcast, and so they were literally just like, wow, you do really good. What are you doing? And I told them, and they're like, I even told them like what my computer setup was, what my internet speed was, what joystick I was using, and they're like, we figured you had the fancy Thrustmaster and a awesome gaming rig and all this other. I'm like, nope. Like, then what do you do? I'm like, I just unleash as many bullets as possible.
I learned to play games from the old school Tekken and Mortal Kombat universe. What's that? Mash buttons!
I actually did. Sorry, can't deny it. Love Tekken. That game was so much fun.
There's nothing to deny there.
And Killer Instinct on Super Nintendo. That was great.
That's a guilty pleasure.
Yeah.
Combo breaker.
Yeah, that was fun. Well, now that the tournament has been officially blessed.
Your furniture stopped floating, by the way.
The what?
Said your furniture finally stopped floating.
I don't like that part. I wanted it to float. Can you do that again?
I
Can we
was.
get float?
Yeah, I'm on that page because
I mean-
floating furniture sounds like one heck of a night. I mean,
It does, but you don't know when it's gonna stop.
that's the fun.
No,
Right.
Not for people like me. I'm paranoid.
Of what? Floating furniture?
Yes, and it falling on top of me
Why are you under the floating furniture?
because it's floating. Damn it!
For guys like me and Paul who have mass to us, we're like, whatever. The couch is just gonna roll off.
No, like, I'm just gonna bounce.
Was that a coffee table? I don't know.
It'll be fine.
Whatever.
It'll be fine. More beer.
Yes. Get me more liquor. Oh yay! All the fun times. But yeah, so tournament has been blessed. We are going to definitely have a lot of fun on Sunday. I'm gonna try and post some stuff. I generally get really bad about that because I get into what's going on in front of me. I tend to monotask the crap out of everything. And so I'm going to try and remember to get pictures and things like that to upload to the website and to show people who listen to our podcast and maybe follow us on Facebook, which you can follow by going to the Beer Hammer Facebook page. You can also pick us up on iTunes and all that kind of stuff.
Podbean.
I even opened up the Facebook community part of it and linked the North Georgia Wargaming Associates group that I had and just changed it to the Beer Hammer Associates, basically, as a group. So anybody who wants to join that, who's listening to the podcast, go for it. We're accepting everybody, not just the North Georgia people anymore. We didn't want to be exclusive. We wanted to be inclusive.
Remember, we have floating furniture.
And I'll bless them when they show up.
Well, you should. You literally should. You should join it just whenever there's a new member. You could say, "Ha ha!"
Initiation.
Yeah. And now
Can we,
I
like-
will sprinkle you with chocolate farts.
Can we do like the whole thing of blood on Simba's forehead for every new person? Be awesome.
Why are you gonna bring that up?
Because it'd be amazing.
That's a soft spot. I'm kidding. I don't give a crap about the Lion King.
I'm not
People
saying
talk about. I was so sad about something. Like, I don't care. It's a cartoon. Like, it had no emotional repercussion for me whatsoever.
I always made the argument Scar's the best Disney villain because he was the one who just straight up just killed his brother.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, yeah.
It was awesome.
Well, he got a natural 20,
Yeah.
clearly.
Yeah, I mean, like, he didn't even like, oh, I've got your poison apple to blah, blah, blah. Or here, touch the little spinny wheel and you're going to fall asleep for a really long time. No, he's like, I'm going to cause a stampede, try to kill my nephew. And then I'm going to trap my brother. And then I'm going to throw his ass off a damn cliff into that stampede and look him in the eye right before I do it. That was awesome.
Yeah, I totally agree. The little bit of Lion King. I don't think I've ever actually watched that entire movie from start to finish all the way through.
You're not really missing anything.
No, I'm not. I mean, I like a decent amount of Disney stuff. Don't get me wrong. I'm not like one of those Disney haters. But just don't care because I was past the age of 12 when The Lion King came out.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
Yeah. And I didn't have children until I was 35. Because I'm dumb. This is a good idea. I'm getting into that part where I'm tired and my health is going to start sucking. And I work 80 hours a week. Let's have a kid.
Why not?
Things I did not think about at the time. I could write that book.
Or things you do not expect in a Warhammer 40K podcast.
Right.
Exactly.
Me complaining about my life choices, right?
Well, I mean, that's...
Like, that's one of the things.
I mean, there's that. We
Sometime-
also had a discussion about Lion King. There was...
Sometimes there's all sixes and sometimes it's all ones. So.
Right. You know, speaking of other games and things, because we are not exclusively 40K, and I will never be exclusively 40K until GW wants to start sending me a paycheck. At that point,
So
I'll
what you...
probably still sneak in crap. Not that I have anything against GW, I'm just not very good at that whole you can buy me thing. I mean, you can send me money and stuff. Doesn't mean I'm going to do what you tell me. But, anyway, where I was going with that. Now that I've been
Other games.
Yes, other games. Other games. Now that I've been totally, absolutely derailed.
It's because you're thinking about the Lion King.
You're right. It sucks.
What you should be thinking about is what if Disney were to also buy Games Workshop?
Oh no!
God.
There we go.
God.
Let's not have that happen.
We shouldn't, generally speaking.
Yeah, I think GW does just fine on their own. Anyway, what I was going to say, speaking of Disney, and that was what triggered my memory, was have you heard anything about the new releases for Star Wars Legion? Because it has unfortunately kind of fallen off the map because Fantasy Flight stopped releasing stuff.
It's just their release schedule hasn't been. A lot of people, they want to see a lot more unit options, a lot more flexibility, stuff like that. That's what's happening a lot, at least in our local community.
Right.
The game's still, it's uber solid.
It's a great game.
The models are fun. They look great. It's cool to build, paint. Because the building is like, and I bought a box. 2 minutes later, I snapped it together, and they're ready to shoot blasters. It's great.
Yeah, I mean, literally, I bought my snowtroopers, and I bought, 2 boxes? And I sat down at your shop and put all 2 boxes together with the 5-year-old.
Yeah.
And she did not get bored until after I'd put both boxes together. That gives you an idea. You can put 2 boxes.
That's an
of
exact
snowtroopers.
science of time. Right. How many snowtroopers can be built in a 5-year-old's attention span? Like, it's an exact measurement. I measure my life in how long will my 5-year-old sit still. I mean, to be fair, I mean, it makes sense. Yeah.
I mean, she wasn't sitting still. You had given her a bunch of hero clicks and been like, here you go. These are for the kids that come to the shop. And she was like making them fight each other while I was putting together snowtroopers. But she didn't get bored of the hero clicks.
It's still is still, right?
Yeah.
I mean, so.
Yeah. So
The Commandos are the Rebel Strike Team Super Force Alpha guys with Han Solo.
Yep.
They have been hitting the table, and Han Solo he's been doing really dirty things to enemy commanders.
Is he out already?
Oh yeah, he's the firepower is really solid. The commandos are really cool. A lot of the guys, the Imperial players, are all like, "Where are the scout troopers?" And they're all waiting, and which I believe they launch this week or next week.
that's cool.
I'm not looking at the schedule in front of me, so but I am. They are
Why are you
anticipated.
not?
Well, because I was randomly invited to come to a strange man's house in the wee hours of dark times to record a podcast.
I'm not that strange.
You fell for that?
Well, there's fell for it and then anticipated it.
We have free sausage balls.
Oh, Snapple.
And a pig.
And a pig. There is a pig.
Yes.
Just for the record, the sausage balls are not the pig.
True. Very true.
No, we do
Thanks
not
for
eat Miss
clarifying.
Pickles.
No.
Yeah, no. And she's not free either, by the way.
No, she's not.
I can imagine not.
No, she costs money.
But she's worth every penny.
Yes, she
With
is.
every penny.
But Star Wars Legion's been really cool. It's a fluff game. We've done a lot of we do a whole lot of storyline stuff with it. Our recent campaign has been very driven on essentially achievements and stuff, which is a system of where you're not necessarily competing with the other players. You're trying to achieve different goals throughout the campaign. With a basic story-driven campaign, but like we just got those new mats in. We're very excited about that. It's one of those games where if you don't have the terrain and the mats and all the feels and everything's painted and etc., that really makes the game. And if you don't have a lot of that, when you see just the basic plastic gray dudes on the battlefield, it takes a lot away from the Star Wars feels for it. So
I really enjoyed the game. The only feel badsies I had with anything from Legion whatsoever was when I bought the mat, and I was like, "This is not a full size mat."
you are not the only one.
Because usually, I mean, honestly, I love gaming and I love the hobby, and most things, even if they're a little kind of stupid, like the Grandmaster Edition of Adeptus Titanicus with not enough stuff to actually play a battle maniple, but almost, I was like, huh, that's a little bit on the itchy bunghole side. And then I just kind of went back to my life and didn't care that much.
Well, because you got a bunch of tiny, cool robots.
You got 2 warlords and 6 knights.
Cute little bitty knights.
But you couldn't actually, like, my whole reasoning behind, like, okay, I'm going to spend this money and get this was because I get all the swag, I get a little bit of terrain, and I figured I would get enough to actually play a matched play game all in one box, which is why I did not mind the price point. And of course, I still don't mind the price point because I still got well more than my money's worth. But I would have been happy if they took the knights out and had put, I believe all they would have had to have put was a reaver or 2 reavers instead of the 6 knights. And you would have had, and it's relatively the same cost as the 6 knights. And you would have had an actual playable, battleable maniple in a match play game. So it wouldn't have been that much crazy. And I mean, I can understand, okay, maybe their production line and whatever they were doing didn't have that ready at the time that they were like, we have to make this deadline and we have to release this by whatever weird dartboard they throw darts at to figure out when they want to release things. But, you know, that stuff, it would have been cool if they'd done that. They didn't. Again, I'm not crying because I still got an incredible value. It was still a great thing. I don't have the nerd rage that a lot of people get. Oh, speaking of nerd rage, did you hear about the Forge World price debacle?
They've come into the shop and talked about it a lot here and there. I've not paid too much attention to it in detail because we don't deal in Forge World, and a lot of our players, we tend to have a much more casual crowd. So a lot of people are painting and building. If they're buying Forge World, it's for funsies. Right. So they're not worried about whether or not it costs $1 bazillion. I like cookies. So
and here's the thing. I actually went through because I had ordered some stuff from Forge World prior to the price hike that people were going on about. And they were like, oh, it's gone up 20%. Well, I actually went through and just recently I did, based on the current exchange rate, I priced, the things out and literally went to the total pricing of the various items to, from, the British pound, what it would cost me to, one thing was just the Mechanicum Tagmata transfer sheets. And I'd ordered 2 sheets of that. And I did the total price on what I paid for it, July. Yeah, it was end of July, beginning of August. And then they did their pricing change. And then I priced it out, total shipping and handling, everything combined. And really, it was $10 more than what I paid for it, converted to U.S. currency back in the day. And I'm going, okay, so this is only $10 more. However, I don't mind paying $10 more because I'm going to get this stuff instead of in 4 to 6 weeks. I'm going to get it in like 3 days.
Oh, and there's got to be a charge for them to maintain a facility and keep a stock.
Right.
And I can only imagine how many fees and everything's involved into it on their part just to be able to have Forge World over here and ready to rock and roll. So, again, if you're playing with Forge World, I mean, it's kind of accepted. You've already leaped off the ledge. You forgot to tie the rope off. There is no safety chute. You are straight up and up base jumping. Good luck. And we play a lot of competitive, so we do see a lot of Forge World, but most of the stuff at the local shop level, Forge World is usually for fluff more than anything else. It's gorgeous, and it looks great, and that's what it's for.
And if you're playing Tau, you're laughing in Yavara.
If you are playing Tau, you are laughing because you have giant jumping around super flamer flechette launcher death robots because your Gundam is cooler than everyone else's.
Right. You know, I've got a Yavara and I've never used it in a Tau list.
They're tasty. Yeah, we literally have run a list with like 3 of them on a regular, and it's like they're like 400 points a piece. So it's like, oh, look at these other fireworks and these Yavaras, flamethrowers, and then nothing but crisis suits with flamethrowers. Oh, it's amusing because when you're like, and why are those Tau getting closer to me? Wait, why? Why are they still getting closer? Oh no, keep them away. Stay back. Fire.
Maybe when I finally do my Farsight Enclaves list, that'll be what I'll do. Just a bunch of crisis suits with flamers and Yavaras.
And Rocket Punch. Don't forget Rocket Punch. That's important.
Rocket Punch.
Yavaras. Have you got to experience a Yavara on the table yet, Cody?
I can thankfully say no.
That is the correct answer. Thankfully.
Yeah, he's only ever played me with Tau.
Okay, so imagine Tau, but they can Overwatch. Oh, wait, but better, even more.
Yeah.
So, because the regular Tau, you're like, Overwatch on 5s and 6s. A little luck is still required. Yavara is automatic because of the flamethrower aspect, and then the AP -2 or whatever, it's Murder King. It's full of Murder
Yeah, and you
King.
can put an ATS on that thing, can't you?
You can put a win on it.
I don't like
All
it.
the winning. It gets it done. It really does. It's an insanely good model. So
I really need a Stormfang gunship, and I can't remember the name for the giant Night Wolf or Wolf Knight, whatever. It's called an Iron Wolf, I think, or something like that.
I have no clue.
Something like that.
you want one of the big old they're flyers for the
Stormfang, yeah.
Yeah, those are kind of. I haven't seen anyone using those. I
It's
don't
in my
know
list.
how do they translate to 40K. Like, I mean, how in 8th edition? How do they? I've seen them used in old 7th, but
I haven't actually used one in a game yet,
yeah,
but I looked them over, and I put the Stormfang in my list because transports 16 models.
oh yeah, that's it. Problem solved.
So basically, what I have is 10 Blood Claws with a Wolfguard Terminator. So we're at 12 dudes. 2 Rune Priests, that's 14. And then y'all Stormcaller puts it at 16. All that crammed in there. That thing flies to your backfield, drops those dudes off under a storm of bolter fire, and it has the twin linked Hellfrost cannon, which is awesome because it's like, did I kill you with this? No. Have mortal wounds.
Here's more death. I brought
Right.
this just for you.
Right.
So it's a present delivery system is entirely what it is.
Yes. And then it drops them off, and then the Blood Claws charge it whatever they want, and y'all and the Stormcallers, or the Rune Priests and y'all are sitting back there going, oh, and now that 3 or 2 command point stratagem where we lightning blast the crap out of everything. But zap.
Kamehameha you.
Sorry. Pretty much, yeah. I mean that's the strategy with that.
I mean, it sounds solid. I mean, can't go wrong with everything that's involved there until enough AA flings at you, right? So
I mean, and if it
those
does,
things are built solid. Like they
Yeah.
have a really for a flyer. They have a lot of wounds. a good save. They're a thick unit for that stuff. So
Let's see. I believe I have it right here.
literally a flying Land Raider Crusader.
Yes, it is literally the same as, or similar to, the big, big fancy flyer for the space wolf, the regular Space Marines, whatever, the Storm Hawk or whatever that thing's called.
I think the probably the thing that has been crushing a lot of the newer players of the store for us has been the Tyranid lists lately. There's such a big variance in the current Tyranid. Like I just saw the other day, one that's really popular. A lot of people have been doing it is the Carnifex Brutes. And they're taking these huge groups of 6 to 9 Carnifexes, and they're just storming across battlefields, and they have an ability that gives you -1 to hit them. And then they'll put a bunch of venom throws near them, which gives you another -1 to hit them in shooting. And the minuses to hit and shooting are just crippling on the tabletop. And of course, you're trying to shoot Carnifexes before they get to you, because once they get there, okay.
Yeah. Okay, here we are. It's actually the Storm Wolf, not the box says Storm Fang Gun, but the Storm Wolf is the transporter.
Yeah.
That carries 16 Space Wolf infantry models. Terminator, Jump Pack, or Wolfen models takes a space of 2. It cannot transport Primaris models.
Well, I mean, they don't deserve any ride.
Yeah, right. This thing is at full wounds, which it has 14 wounds. It's a ballistic skill 3, strength 8, toughness 7, 14 wounds. Like I said, 3 up save. So not shabby.
Super hard to kill.
Yep.
Get out of the sky.
We have let's see, 2 las cannons that are heavy 1, strength 9, AP -3, D6 damage.
Standard las cannon.
Yep. 2 twin heavy bolters. This is just the basic loadout. This is not the paying points to upgrade. The 2 twin heavy bolters, your standard 36-inch, heavy 6, strength 5, AP -1, 1 damage. That's two of those. And then you have the twin Hellfrost cannon. When attacking with this weapon, choose one of the profiles below. It has a dispersed and focused. Both are 24-inch range. Dispersed is heavy 2d3. Focused is heavy 2. Dispersed is strength 6. Focused is strength 8. AP -2 on dispersed. AP -4 on focused. Damage 1 on dispersed. D6 damage on focused. And if you suffer any unsaved wounds from this weapon but are not slain, you roll a d6. On a 6, it suffers a mortal wound.
All right.
So it does have a little randomness to the mortal wound. I guess it's just because of the effect of like ice frosting the thing over. But I mean, still, you can. I mean, if you essentially, let's see, if you're firing 2d3 shots, that's what, an average of like 4, 5.
An average of Pew.
Yeah.
Equaling bolter fire plus las cannon.
Yeah.
That comes to a nice, round number of dead targets that you have shot.
Right. So, if you soften up, say, a Lehman Russ with your las cannons, fire the twin heavy bolters at some infantry nearby, and then Hellfrost cannon that thing, and if you use the focused, your 2 shots, you're hitting on 3s, so you're going to hit probably with both of them. I mean, if not, at least one.
A lot of times. So you're going to have something nearby for rerolls or stuff. Well, maybe not because it's a transport, but still.
Your strength 8, you're wounding on 4s on a Lehman Russ. AP ends up being -4. So guess who doesn't get a save? That Lehman Russ.
Well, why you got to hate on the Lehman Russ?
I'm not hating on it. I'm just saying.
You're being so mean to it. You've just shot it with las cannons and a giant frost cannon of icicle power.
Because I want it dead. My thing is, a Lehman Russ, if you can take out a Lehman Russ in 1 turn of shooting, you can take out just about every other tank in the game.
That is a true story.
Except for maybe like a super heavy, like a Baneblade.
Well, I mean, that's just a bigger Lehman Russ.
Bigger, better.
How did we improve it? We added more guns.
And we made it bigger.
Excellent.
Faster, stronger.
I like the fact that in several of the novels, the Baneblades basically have like the general's offices inside them.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Like it describes like hallways, and the guy's like like desk and everything just sitting in the inside of this tank. Like, that's interesting.
How big is this tank?
HQ is moving. Well, I mean, so one of the Baneblade variants, I think it's the Stormlord or I want to say it's the Stormlord. It literally has a transport capacity of 40.
Good lord.
And it has a platform that raises dudes up. And so they basically raise up on this platform and they all just blasting out of the back of it. And on top of that, it's got 2 giant machine guns of death. But the main thing is transport capacity 40. So 40 dudes can literally hang out inside of this tank.
So essentially, they have a mobile home with a lot of guns.
Yeah, I mean, it's the world's most powerful trailer.
Jesus.
Yep. I think I've got the Lehman Russ variant. I've got is the Shadow Sword.
The Baneblade variant.
Yeah, the Baneblade variant is the Shadow Sword because it has the cannon that can actually hurt a Titan.
Yeah, I mean those are important.
Yeah. Apparently.
Yeah, it's going to be really important soon.
Maybe. But yeah, so I mean, with the fire on this thing, you're kind of gonna hurt some people, and then you're gonna drop off 16 dudes.
That are going to hurt some people.
Nobody's gonna care about that flyer. Once you drop out those blood claws.
Surprise, blood claws! It's Christmas! Hooray! Murder.
I worked it out without the Wolfguard Terminator with them. That is, I believe, a little over 30 attacks for one 10-man unit of blood claws.
Blood claws do equip the punch
Yes.
in the fashionable, favorable chainsword fashion. I mean, that's exactly how you do it.
Yes.
Blood claws. Is that your plan, Cody?
It does involve that, yes.
He says it does. He doesn't even know how to spell blood claws.
Blood plus claw.
Exactly.
I mean, duh.
That's what they all say. I don't know.
What?
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 Is there anything else you wanted to cover tonight?
Honestly, I can't think of a whole lot else. I mean, we've talked about the tournament, talked about, many different aspects of the hobby and 40K gaming, and I think Andrea's ready to play her first game. Right?
Right. Yeah. Ready. Let's get on it.
What you gonna play?
I want to do the Game of Thrones thing.
The what?
I want to do the Game of Thrones one. That's what I want to play.
Stark,
Oh.
Lannister, or Bolton? Those are the 3 current houses.
You know what? I'm probably going to go with the most unpopular one, which might actually be Bolton.
Oh my God, they're so good.
Yeah.
The Boltons, which of course, I mean, it's terrible because it's the Boltons.
It's a Bolton.
The Boltons. The Boltons.
Yes.
The Boltons.
The game, the full-scale game, is a 50-point game. The Boltons have a unit, their Flayed 1 Cavalry, are 10 points for this one little unit of 4 dudes. They are legitimately Chaos Knights with flails of justice. They have a 2-up armor save in that game, which is basically just like, beep, beep, I'm a truck. And you're just running crud over and murdering it. The funniest thing in the world the other day, we were playing, one of the guys put, one of the combos they used is, and we're not 100% if this is legal, but it was funny. We did it, whatever. He took the mountain that rides. And he hired some Bolton Flayed ones and threw the mountain that rides into it. And so basically this unit just got to you, and if your stuff was there, it was dead. I mean, it shouldn't be there because it's gone. And the mountain that rides, he can be a unit by himself. The model is massive. It's uber impressive. It kills everything. But the Boltons really rely a lot on causing fear in that game. And they kind of have this like triangle where the Lannisters are really good. Lannisters has commissars in that game. They literally just like, all right, murder dude. All right, sweet. We pass this fear check. Neener. And it just happens. And that's pretty much it. So yeah, Boltons is a good choice. You'll have a good time when you play.
There you go. Beginner's luck.
Yeah.
Awesome. I'm ready.
What are you gonna play in 40K?
You see what I'm looking at?
She's going to take Eric's Titan.
You know how
She
many
just
people,
needs the one model.
You know how many people have threatened me to either beat me up and take that, or steal it from me, or whatever.
Nick.
Oh no, I've
lot
been
more
threatened.
than-
I assume by a large portion with a copious amount of money as well.
No, not a single person has really offered to buy it from.
To actually buy or
Yeah. And so I'm just kind of like,
I mean, you got it as a reward for the Nova charity. So
right, it was
why would
for
you
buying raffle
yeah.
tickets.
It's super awesome.
Right. And I'm just kind of like, the amount of people who've joked about that, I'm just like, and you can try.
Well, like it's what, $2,000 unpainted, unassembled.
Right.
Plus.
So if you take it as is, painted and assembled, it'd be worth a guesstimate of what would you say?
I mean, the paint job that's on it right now, I would hope that anybody who paints at the level that John Stein paints at would charge an additional $2,000 to put this thing together and paint it in this way.
I can only imagine. It's such a massive model, and there's probably so many parts. And like you were showing us earlier, taking the head off, taking the cockpit out, the pilot and everything's painted there. Even the little console's painted, the whole 9 yards. That is not something most of us would do.
Yeah.
No.
We would be like, and we airbrushed a Titan, hooray! Like that is literally.
I glued this head together. Whoop-a-de-doo.
Yeah, he's here to beat your face up, and he's cool.
Yep.
Yeah,
It's
he's
super
beautiful.
fantastic.
He's beautiful.
It is.
That's why I'm looking at it. I'm like, wow, if when I start playing this game, that's the man right there.
We like that when, not if.
Yeah. You,
Win, not if.
you can never afford drugs if you like this game enough.
Right?
Yes.
Somebody's wallet somewhere just cried.
40K will keep you drug free.
I just cried in Spanish.
How does that sound?
El cry.
Wah, 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 wah.
Cody's triggered. well, let me rephrase. Cody's half triggered.
I'm so glad my family's not here right now.
Why would they be triggered?
Well, if we're talking about my dad's parents, they wouldn't know what the fuck you're saying.
Do they when they laugh? Do they go ja 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 ja?
You know what?
No.
I type that.
You should.
I do. That's
I have a
okay.
Spanish-speaking friend. I
Spanish.
can't talk today. Spanish-speaking friends that do type that, and it throws me off every time.
Do you speak Spanish, sort of?
Unfortunately, not.
No. Are you half Spanish?
I'm half Mexican, yeah.
No. Well, there you go. I'm not at all, but I speak Spanish.
You're doing better than me. I just like the food.
Nice.
I just like the food.
Yeah, I think the only language Cody's going to learn is probably Old Norse.
I want to learn Swedish still.
I mean, me too.
And I would love to learn Old Norse as well. I'd love to learn German, especially if I'm upset.
Well, generally speaking, there's only one word you generally need to know in any of that, and that's skull.
Yeah.
Skull.
That's pretty
I do
much
know
it.
that one.
Yeah, that means give me more alcohol,
Yes, it
and
does.
or drink your alcohol, and a lot of other things when you're drunk.
Yeah. Very true.
I'm going to find out if this is true tomorrow.
There is a Viking meadery about 2 hours south of us.
Wait, what?
Road trip. Ready.
My buddy in Sweden is going to be texting me. Skull doesn't mean that.
No, see, in the world of drunk,
It means like toast or cheers.
I have
Yeah.
no idea what the actual word means, but
Yeah.
if you raise it up and yell it out, you'll get more alcohol.
Yeah.
You know, I had
Well,
some Norwegian friends,
after
and they
you
would
drink
say
it.
skull all the time, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Isn't that like a tobacco?
No.
A chew, like a chew? Do you guys remember
Well,
that?
he's definitely going to give me the rundown on it, which I will appreciate. And
Then you'll know
Yeah.
the secret, and we can apply it appropriately.
Right.
Yeah.
And I will come in Sunday and I will go, all right, Paul, here's the rundown.
Yeah. Just like in, you were talking about Spanish, so basis, right? I mean, you're good to go. You're
I can
covered.
bring my drinking horn for demonstration. Like, here's how we actually need to do it.
Right.
Oh, I can make it cransen caca.
That had caca at the end of it,
Yeah.
which means poop.
But that's in Spanish, but not in Norwegian. See, it's different.
I don't know.
It's
Oh,
like these
it's
little
getting fancy.
almond rings kind of cake, and you put wine in the middle of it. And it's like a celebration cake for when you win the tournament because you've been blessed now.
Can you get drunk off it?
Yeah.
You could get drunk beside it.
Right, you could probably dunk the rings in the wine because that would be good. 'Cause there's sugary sweet.
I don't agree with eating food that is alcohol infused if it's not going to get me drunk.
Well, once you put it in your mouth with the wine that you've consumed,
Have you
does
ever
that count?
gotten drunk off pancakes?
Have you?
Is that a trick
It
question?
depends on the day.
Somebody hasn't? Oh, goodness. All right. Well, to further things and go back to 40K, since we're done talking about, drunken pancakes and weird Norwegian Swedish words, I will say that one of the best things that I have invested in for actually going to stores and transporting things and stuff, aside from some KR backpacks and KR multi-cases, is my table war case. And that was the last finishing touches I was putting on the AdMech, was magnetizing them and putting them in little trays and stuff. And you saw that case, didn't you, Paul?
I'm sure. I don't remember the names of cases, but
it has the open clear front.
oh,
It is a
beautiful
large-
clear. Yeah, that one is gorgeous.
It's awesome.
It's display case, the whole 9 yards, all in one. And speaking of cases, I think Battle Foam, the one that does all the pre-cut stuff,
Yeah, Battle Foam
they
does
just
awesome
released
stuff.
it, and they have an entire line for the Game of Thrones.
That's
game,
cool.
Specifically pre-cut
They
for the Hand of the
also-
King box.
They also released a line of cases that is like that they kind of like basically said, okay, this is still decent quality, but we're not putting as rigid of sides to it and things like that.
Oh, like an economy one.
Right. And then it's an economy set, and you can get literally a set of like 3 cases with just like the standard foam loadouts. And it was like $200 or $300 somewhere in there.
I mean,
and that's
if
for
it's
3
a
cases.
big bulk, yeah, that's not bad at all.
And it's a big bulk, 3 cases. That's more than what most people would ever need.
Yeah.
Unless you're a weirdo like me.
Is that really the case?
We say that,
Shush.
but on the other hand, it really comes down to, when you get into Hammer or whatever, I'm going to have this one army, or I like this one army, or whatever. And like 3 months later,
Did you see my hobby
every
station?
armory. I saw the wall. I assume that was a hobby station.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. So.
It does fold up if I ever actually clean that stuff off.
And if I ever cleaned, that's the beginning of every 40K song ever, right? If I ever cleaned my hobby station, it's a self-help book for 40K players.
Right, country
Clean
40.
your hobby station.
Well, no, the hobby station does stay relatively clean. But if I ever actually put everything away and tucked it away, and all that, then I would be able to close that thing up. It's actually an armoire that folds
Tucked it
out.
away. Night,
It's,
Warhammer Paints.
Yep.
I know you're tired from a long day of covering these models and awesome, but now it's time for you to go Betty Bar. We're just so done with you right now.
Good night, sir.
Now make sure not to dry up while you're hidden away in the back of my drawer.
Good night, Moon. Good night, Space Wolves. Good night, Logan Grimnar, with your little teacup and your wolves pulling you in an impossible way.
Gonna ruin over your face in your sleep.
Good night, Warlord Titan.
Good
And with that, we will also say good night to all of you, our wonderful listeners, who need to go on iTunes and give us good reviews and listen to us all the damn time. Every time. Bye, bitches.